Gone, gone. Today's word is gone in Old English. This verb means to go, but it's very peculiar. There are many meanings and many uses for this verb. Now, let's start with the origin of this verb. It comes from Proto-Germanic and Proto-Indo-European, two languages that preceded Old English. And in those languages, it meant to leave. And now you may be asking, and you may ask, what does it have to do with to go, to leave? Well, one particular thing about about the nature of this verb, something that we should bear in mind, is that it doesn't necessarily mean what we understand by going today. So it's a phenomenon that is present in many languages, that the verbs to go and to come, they have two meanings. One of these meanings is to go, to move away from the speaker, and then to come, to move towards the speaker, getting closer, right? But there is another meaning, which is to start to go, to start to move, to change, and to be changing, to be moving. So in English, and when I say English, I mean Old English and Modern English as well, this meaning is preserved. Think about the following situation. You are at home, you have to leave, you are late for an event, but you really have to take your time, and someone says, hey, get ready, we are late, and you say, I'm coming. Yeah, suppose you yell from your bedroom and you say, hey, I'm coming. It means I'm almost ready. But you may be thinking, why do I say that? Why do I say I'm coming if coming supposedly means moving towards myself? How can I say that? That's because the other pair of meanings that these two words have in Old English and Modern English and many other languages is to, as I said, it's to start to move and to be moving. And in the case of English, to go is to start to move, and to come is to be moving. So when you say I'm coming, what you really mean is I'm already on the way. I'm moving. I'm not just starting to move. I'm not just getting prepared to move. I'm already moving. I'm on the way, right? And is there an example of us using to go in the sense of starting to move? Yes, there is. Imagine you look at the sky, right? And you see that dark clouds are coming near you, and you say, oh dear, it's going to rain, isn't it? It's going to rain. I know it is. Well, if you say that, what you really mean is it's starting. It's already, in principle, raining, not in action. In principle, the clouds, they are making it very probable, very likely. They are prepared to make rain happen. So it's going to rain. It's going to rain. You can also think of how we say I'm going to do this versus I will do this, right? I'm prepared, I have planned, versus I will do that. I've just decided I will do that, right? So these are the two meanings of to go and to come. The first meaning is to move away or to move towards the speaker, and the second one is to start to go and to be going, to be moving, right? And that is very important for this video, because we need to see this verb gone not just as moving away. We need to see this as starting to move, and that will help us to understand The other meanings, the other uses, as I said, there are many uses of this verb in Old English. We will understand them better if we know that it means, it also means to start to go, to start to move. Okay, let's start. Now, the first meaning is to start to go. It's very straightforward. That's what we were talking about, to start to go. And if you think of this word as coming from Proto-Indo-European with the meaning to leave, it makes perfect sense. To leave, you are just leaving. You're not moving. You're not in the middle of the movement. You're just leaving. You're starting to go. Yeah, that's the first meaning. Now, we have similar words in other languages. They come from the same root. And so, for example, we have, even in English, in Northumbria, in Geordie is a dialect, we have the word gone, gone. I've never been there in Newcastle upon Tyne, which is the place where people talk like that. But I suppose it's gone. It's not gan, it's gone. Or maybe gan, gan. Provided that in the north of England they have this phenomenon where their air becomes ah. So it's probably gan, I suppose. I've never been there. So if you know, if you're from there, please leave a comment and help us with that. In Old Norse, you have ga. It also means to go and has the same origin. Now, another word that shares the same origin is Gothic, gaggan, gaggan, gaggan. Okay. Now, I talked about the first and most basic and most important meaning of gone, which is to start to go. Now let's talk about the second meaning, which is to happen. Oh, Axel, I can't make a connection here. To happen? Yes, to happen. Imagine that you are starting to do something. So something is starting to be whatever it has to be. It is happening. It is becoming what it's supposed to be. And in Latin, we say evenire, evenire, evenire. So many times in Old English, when you have glosses, which are texts in which you have Old English and Latin side by side, you have the word evenire in Latin, which basically means to come out. So imagine there's this thing right here, a principle, and you have the thing itself, which springs from the principle, so it comes out. Or in Old English, it goes, it starts to move, it starts to change, it starts to be, to exist, or it happens. So the second meaning is to happen. The third meaning is to walk. So you can imagine that if you have a verb that means to go, it can also be used in the sense of to walk. And that is the case in Old English. Now, you also have the meaning to be determined by, and this is a bit abstract, to be determined by. But think of the following sentence in Old English. Ela Königes räd eode behisdichte. El thas Königes räd eode behisdichte. Behisdichte. So, el thas Königes räd, all the advice of the king, Gath, goes, sorry, not Gath, Eode in the past. Eode went, went by his dicht, arrangement, direction. So you can imagine that there is this king, who has someone giving him pieces of advice, and all his decisions, they have one origin, which is this person's directions, right? This person's arrangements. So to be determined by. Ealathes Königes räd eode. I'm sorry that I said Gath instead of eode. The example is eode in the past, okay? And this is a real sentence in Old English. I got this from the dictionary. Now, number 5, to be pregnant. To be pregnant, how can this be related to the meaning of going or starting to go? Well, a baby, does a baby exist? Of course. Is the baby out of the belly? Is it? In the first 9 months or so, it's not. So it's still starting its own life. It's starting to live. It's right at the beginning. So it's starting to go, starting to change, starting to move. So it's very intuitive that people would say to be pregnant, and they would also say to go. So let me give you an example. Again, it's a real sentence in Old English. I got this from the dictionary. Fewer on the 20 måndag gath seu moder. Fewer on the 20 måndag gath seu moder. Moder. So the mother goes 24 months. The mother goes 24 months. So that is one of the meanings of the verb gone. I would love to just cram everything in one video, but it's getting really long, so I'm stopping here and we can continue in our next video.